Hi, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Alana. Welcome to the channel. I'm having a day, so it's like, I just recently moved and yeah, a lot going on. And so it's hard to always be nice and fixed up all the time. And I run a business and I have a 4-year-old and I'm doing this as on the side type of thing. It's a passion of mine to help people. I've always wanted to do it, so I'm starting the channel and hope you can get something out of it. If you want to start a business or just get some advice, life advice from, from a gal that's, had a few knocks around and have learned some lessons. Mostly we're here to help you get off the ground and go start a business of some type. So it's going to be very much focused on business and the practicalities of how to pay taxes, to who, to logos, to names, to how many employees, just practicalities all the way to the emotional side of it, which is very important to having a business. So you have to know how to handle your emotional side and anxiety and whatever comes up. I talk about it all. So so today's topic, I'm going to try to delve into it. I think out of the 40 videos I've done so far, I have not prepped for anything. I just think about it for a second and then press the button. Except for the logo one, the logo business one. I needed some numbers or something. Anyway, today's topic is about how to get wealth. Now, am I rich? No. If you have to work, you're not rich. But then, am I wealthy? What really is wealthy? What really is wealthy? Wealthy to me is, I thought about it on the way here, driving here. Wealthy to me is having the ability to live the life you want. That's wealthy. So to you, it may be, are you able to afford an apartment in the city? Are you able to rent something you really love and enjoy without crazy neighbors, without being too tired and being around rats infested? That's wealthy to me. Can you live or work in a good job that you enjoy going without overworking and hurting yourself? Can you not work if that's what you want to do and stay home? Not everybody wants to stay home, believe it or not. Some people do. That's wealthy to me. Do you live in a house you like? Do you own it? Can you own it? You don't have to own a house. I mean, at the end of it said and done, by the time you get old age, whether you got money in it, and I mean, really, who cares? You're living in it. Can't get anything out of it. Who cares? Who cares? My father, he lives on, like government, like old people houses, and he scored himself a contract from years ago before they signed over. They made people sign so you can go to the house, but once you lose your family, the kids are all grown up, you leave. He had his contract before anything was changed, and he stayed, and he's the one man with 3 bedrooms. It's crazy. Otherwise he's wealthy. He doesn't own the house. He's wealthy. To him, he's wealthy. His bills are paid, gets to live in a 3-bedroom house around his trees with his cats. He's a wealthy man. He doesn't want to go away. He can't walk. He's paralyzed. He doesn't want to go away. He doesn't want to go vacationing anyway. He doesn't care. To him, his vacations is going in the backyard and, seeing that his fig trees are nice, and that's wealth. So what kind of life do you want? I like the life where I want to own my house, not worry about anyone throwing me out. And I want to be able to go to Disney every year and enjoy it. Vacation every year. I want my kids healthy and thriving in what they choose, the lives they choose. I want a loving man next to me, supporting me, loving me, buying me stuff. That's what I want. I prefer not to work. So I guess I'm not wealthy. I like doing stuff. I like the channel. I really love this, doing this. I can see myself doing this full time. That's wealthy. To me, that's wealth. So we're going to get into the superficiality and expectations of what society considers wealth. So how do you get wealthy? How do you get wealthy? We're going to talk about it. I got a few know-hows. How do you get wealthy? I'm more secure than the average person. I don't really want to delve into, I'm not ready to delve into my what I have and what's going on. But I'm going to talk about it. And if you want to stay and believe, great. Learn something, help yourself. And if you don't, toodaleo. So the first thing is get a job. Get your business. If you have a business, this business isn't like making me lots and lots and lots of money. It's not doing that at all. It's just giving me a very modest income. Very modest income, like any modest job. Really, honestly, that's what it is. Google it. Google what entrepreneurs make. And go to the lower end of the scale. It doesn't give me wealth at all. But it allows me to be creative. It allows me to work for myself. It allows me to not be bossed around by other people. It allows me to pursue my creative side and bake. It allows me for the possibility of becoming wealthy. So in the business itself, you can generate money from the income of the business. Of like you're a W-2, you're an employee. You pay yourself. That's business money. You can go get a job. You don't have to have a business for that. The good thing about the business is you can sell to other people. You can sell to other cafes and coffee shops what you make. You can sell to supermarkets and grow. I wanted to do the supermarket thing, but it didn't work out with Wegmans. I'm a pretty expensive product, like I'm a very premium product. And not everybody wants you at their store. I don't know why I didn't pursue it heavily. And taste didn't want me either. Like I said, we're a very premium product. And people have to really see that they're making money. And the truth is, with premium products, you're using very expensive ingredients. So, it costs way more, but we use real stuff that costs money. Pay real people to do stuff. So, there's not a lot of profit margin left for people. That's the truth. Food business. Food business is the toughest business. So you can grow by getting more sales and growing the business, or services and growing the business. You can do online and grow the business that way. You can do online. I did online by allowing people to purchase the classes at their leisure. At their leisure. And it allowed, rather than waiting for the business to open and blah, blah, blah. The other way you can get wealth is you can get another store. You can do one good and get another one. Sometimes you're limited to how much you can make in the one store. Maybe there's not enough people coming in. Maybe, just that, the small business, unless they're really wheeling and dealing, it's, you know, it's just a modest income, really. Get another store and double up. So if you're taking home, just say 50,000, then you get another one taking home 50,000 there, and another one. So all of a sudden you went to 150. You got like crazy amount of work, but that's another way you grow. Another way is, rather than you doing things and centralizing and doing everything for everybody, you can, or they doing at each store and hiring other pastry chefs or bakers or cooks or whatever you got going on. The other thing you can do is you can franchise. You know, you can systemize everything, bring it right down to a bare minimum in your store, and franchise your store, like Cold Stone. They sell ice cream, they sell a handful of flavors and cake, ice cream cake, that's it, and you buy into it. You can franchise. That way you can make millions, like millions. Do that. If that's your thing, we're in America, the land of franchises. I'm from Australia, so when I came here, you know, it's the land of franchises. I noticed that off the bat. Wow, it's the same thing over and over. Wow. In Australia, we just have the concept of, you want that, you go there. It doesn't exist anywhere else, except for Baker's Delight. Baker's Delight is kind of like a Panera without the savory stuff. Really nice. Everybody loves Baker's Delight. And it basically allows the baker just to use the name and bake certain products that are the same. But you can create different in each store. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Love Baker's Delight. It's expensive. My sister's like, what do you want for Christmas? Baker's Delight. It's a gift. It's expensive. But that's what they are. They make things there. It's good. You know. So that's another way. When you can create a business to sell it. You can create a business, keep it a couple of years, show that it works, and then sell it to somebody. That's kind of hard, because to do a business, it's hard. It can cost you thousands and thousands of dollars to do a business, or you can just pay very minimally. If you minimally, you can sell it. You know, your website, your distribution, your customer base, you being there and everybody knowing you, all has value. Your IP, your name, all has value. All has value. So, yeah, there's a bunch of ways to make money. The other way, and it's the way I didn't do any of that because I wanted to do that. I started looking for other locations, but then COVID happened, and COVID did something very unique. It shook the living bejesus out of me, like it did to many people. Now, there was a part of me that was like, oh, this is just a bunch of, like, I could see, because I was kind of against the whole Matrix thing, and, you know, I could, you know, the conspiracy. So a part of me could see that something didn't feel right and that something was going on. As a small business, I could feel that, see it, because I've been taught how to think differently. I've been taught to think that everything is BS. A lot of things are BS. Just to get you to believe stuff and get you to do stuff. Everything. Really everything. Everything. Living in the Matrix by day. So I had that side, and I thought, oh, here we go. Took us over. And it really wasn't so much what America was doing, it was what Australia was doing. Australia was so strict. I mean, look into what happened with Australia. Yeah. Anyway, it's not about that topic, so I'm not But yeah, it kind of shakes you up to think stuff. And then, so I just didn't feel safe in the business ownership anymore. I didn't feel safe. I'm like, I'm not gonna give all my money, and I didn't have a lot of it. I'm not gonna give all my money to invest in something that may be taken away from me like that, because I didn't jab, because nobody wanted to walk into a restaurant or dine, or because the health department visited you and said you can't serve eggs, love. We're in COVID time. Whatever the issue is for everybody, or what was for everybody. So I'm like, it kind of shook me up. I thought, wow, I always gravitated to business because I felt protected. But then I realized that it wasn't really that case anymore. So then what I did was I moved towards real estate. I'm like, what do I do? Real estate. So I took my pennies, all my money, scrambled my pennies that I was going to put to open another store, and maybe build a process to allow the idea of franchising, and go to a lawyer and franchise, and then go to a broker and sell the concept once it was systemized in a manual. Go get a lawyer to sign off, a legal lawyer to sign off on my documentation and present it as a legal, functional franchise business. And then go to a broker. Yeah, so franchising. That's one way. But for me, I decided to go into real estate. I'm like, that's safe. I can do that. I don't need to do anything. Just need to deal with people. I can do that. I can own my own home. So I did. Look for a place, and I decided to. I was living in a place, and I decided to. By then I had met my partner, and I decided that I wanted to upgrade, meaning it's our family, and go a little bit bigger, something nicer, and except I was going to keep the other place. And rent it out maybe, or so I'd have two mortgages. Is that rich, wealthy? Probably not. Two debts. But I was on my way. I was on my way to stability. I was on my way for me being stable, living the life I wanted. I kept the store. I was living in the house I wanted to live in. And I was with someone I wanted to be with. So I was very wealthy. So it's another way. Property is another way. So that house, you could pay it off and go into another house. How do you pay it off? How do I pay off a $300,000 house? Are you crazy? Don't buy it for $300,000. I came from Pleasantville, so I came from like houses that were $400,000. The house I lived in Northern Virginia, it was a townhome. I bought it for $200,000. I sold it for $250,000. I made $50,000. Woohoo! I was rich. So I took that money and I came here, and I could have gone, ooh, I'm rich. I got some down deposit. Let me get a house. I didn't. I got the smallest little house that was nice. And I think I looked at 20 bloody houses. And my realtor was almost ready to dump me. And I said, I want something with a wow factor. I want something that will grow in value. And I want something that I can be proud of. So I got a little house right near my store, 10 minutes drive away in Virginia Beach. And it was right on a lake, the wow factor. It was beautiful. I knocked out one of the little walls and could see through because it felt so small. It was too small. But it was just me and my daughter. It's perfect. It was just me and my daughter. How many rooms do we need? We just need us. That's it. I got a little house. Little house. And I didn't let it go. And I just kept pouring money into it. Pouring it. I lived on nothing. I never went out. I never did anything. Honestly, I was a workaholic. And so anything that I could have spent and gone out and be nice and do my hair, my nails, I never did. I was a single mom with a store. Worked my butt off, and any monies I had, I just put it back into the house. So my dad went from here to here. And so when I met Ryan, I was like, let's be fancy. And I wanted somewhere out a bit, more suburbia, more family friendly. And so I did. We saw a place. It was nice. And we moved in. The stupid thing is it was too expensive. I didn't realize then. You think houses are just what the mortgage. So yeah, the place was too expensive. Too expensive. The electric was too much. Even when I'm Australian, so I hang up the clothes outside. I have an outside clothes hoist, and I hang up the clothes. And I don't use the dryer because it's like crazy money. And still, I was paying like $300-400, $450 just in electric. And then when I put the fireplace on, there was another. My electric bill went down, but my gas bill was the same. Gas is equal to electric now here. It's crazy. Terrible. Yeah. My trash bill is in my home mortgage. Home, like the land tax. They force you to pay it. They force you to pay it in land taxes. I'm not even living there now, and I'm paying taxes. I'm paying trash. Isn't that terrible? Like, I have to call them up and see what the deal is. I'm not living there. Why do I have to pay it? Well, whoever's living there, whoever owns it and lives there has to pay it. But if I don't want it, the place I live at now doesn't charge. If you want us to take the trash, it costs $80 a month, and if you don't want it, you don't get it. It's a service. We don't force it on you. It's a service. So, get out of places that force you to do stuff. It's not a good thing. HOAs, get out of HOAs. When I own, I don't bother with HOAs. That house on the lake, there is a HOA, but I don't bother with them because they cost a lot of money. They got too many rules. It's ridiculous. And what if you get a wacko? Crazy. It's crazy. Don't go to HOAs if you can prevent it. But there's none in my area. Now you can go drive further. That's my opinion. Just my opinion. So you can build wealth by when you have a store, when you have a job, you keep the income. The bank just wants to see that you have a steady income and that you can afford it. That's all. And then I got my place and I kept it. So when I got my bigger place, I had my one place as collateral in case. They could see I'm now getting rent and I have to show them a lease and show them, see? They can see that I'm making enough to pay both mortgages. So I'm on my way to wealth, stability, future freedom. Not right now freedom, future freedom. And because I don't own them outright, I don't pay as much tax. So tax on rental income is 20%. But if you have mortgage still, that's a liability or an expense, and so you don't pay as much because you owe money. So money coming in, money going. If it's you don't owe anything, it's just money coming in, it's way more money coming in. Still own the place, still get the same rent, but the difference is you don't own it versus you own it. So it's just a strategy, a tax strategy, a tax incentive strategy. So that's why the rich dad, poor dad guys go, just own a bunch of mortgages, get ahead. I'm like, what? That's stupid. Nope, it ain't stupid. I'm seeing it. And one day I'll own them. One day I'll own them. Right now I just got a bunch of debt. But I have my future wealth. I've planned for my future. I don't have a 401k because I spent it for my future. So yeah, one day I'm going to discuss it. Discuss what I have, discuss the processes. I'm just kind of talking about really how to create wealth from a little business, or even from your store, like even from your job. So if I didn't have the store and I was just staying home, I'm like, oh, I'm just not, I'm going to stay home with my son and just work, get a very, go do something that's, part-time, or get a very low income. What happens is I don't have anything to show the bank that I can get anymore. Even if I have a house, they can't, I need to show them that it's supported. So if someone's moved out or whatever, there's nothing. So I have to show them consistent money, consistent income. And that's how a job comes in. And you just keep going, do the same thing, do the same thing. So I did that 5 years apart from each other. People say, get a house every year. What? No. Who can do that? Maybe if two people who live in their house earn income, both earn really good income, you could possibly do that. But don't know, not in my situation. I'm the breadwinner in my family. And Ryan is at home with our son until he starts school. And then hopefully he gets a job. Yeah. So build wealth. Think about the future. To the people who say it's irresponsible, the 401k, getting rid of it is irresponsible. So, I don't care. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you think. Show me your portfolio. If it wasn't for my 401k, I wouldn't have money for a business. Who's going to give me money? I'd have to go work somewhere. And then I was in the groove. I'm going to give it up with a child to go start my dream. That's hard. I was already there. Everybody's got an opinion.